The roar of the engine, the wind whistling in your ears. These are the sounds that bikers know and love, yet it seems that many are ignorant of the damage they can cause to hearing. New research shows that 40% of riders have experienced ringing in their ears after a long ride, and a quarter have suffered permanent damage. Yet still, 2/3 of motorcyclists have confessed they haven't bought hearing protection.
I've lost a few of my frequencies because of the world of motorcycling. I've always ridden without hearing protection because I just purely didn't think about it really. And I've also been in the pit lane for almost 15 years with a lot of very loud revving engines and people shouting in my ears. So yeah, I've lost a little bit of my hearing. It doesn't affect me too much, but I'm glad I know now and haven't continued to ride without protection. I don't think that riders think about protecting their hearing. I don't think it's anyone being defiant and thinking it's uncool. It's just not on the radar.
Any noise over 85 decibels can harm your hearing, and wind and engine noise on a bike regularly exceed 110 decibels. No surprise then that these riders at London's legendary Ace Cafe have a few thoughts on the subject.
After a long ride, it sometimes it affects it a little bit, and I'm sort of temporarily deaf for a short while with a bit of ringing.
Riding bikes has not, to my knowledge, affected my hearing, although I'm very aware of wind noise with certain helmets and at certain speeds. But I've never had my hearing checked, so whether or not it's correct, as it were, I'm actually unaware.
I notice a ringing in the ear, similar to, say, when you've been to a nightclub and you've been loud sound system behind you.
I don't think it's the bikes themselves that is actually noisy that's affecting your hearing. It's literally just the wind noise of obviously the drag and so forth that affects your hearing. A lot of the guys on certain motorcycles want to project a certain image, therefore they would wear a certain helmet. And a lot of these funky helmets, the show-off helmets, are actually terrible. They're really, really noisy as far as the wind drag past your ears are concerned.
I would say my father's hearing's been damaged. He's been an avid motorbike rider for years, watches the TV with the volume on full pelt, so we're telling him to turn it down, and he's like, he still doesn't hear you when you ask him to turn the sound down.
I mean, one or two I know who haven't ever used earplugs, and I have noticed a little bit of deafness, but they do a lot of motorway riding.
So is protection simply a case of stuffing a bit of paper in your ears? Well, that is one solution, but you could probably do a bit better.
Noise-induced hearing loss is the second biggest hearing loss in the country, and motorbike riders put themselves at risk from high levels of decibel ratings that in a lot of day-to-day situations you don't just come across it. And the problem with these noises is basically that they don't start showing the symptoms up until a few years down the line. So the key to looking after your hearing if you're riding a bike is preventing the problem from arising in the first place. And the best way to do this is through hearing protection. And at Specsavers we offer custom-made hearing protection with specific filters designed to cut out the wind and engine noise at high speeds when you're riding on a motorbike, and this protection can prevent the onset of noise-induced hearing loss through riding motorbikes. The filters also keep you aware of what's going on around you, so you can wear the protection, still communicate to people, be aware of the traffic around you as well. Anyone concerned about their hearing, or if they have a hearing loss, or would be interested to know what's available to them to help them when they're riding their motorbike, should drop into their local Specsavers for a free hearing test and consultation.
The research shows that more than a quarter of Britain's 1.3 million bikers still don't think that hearing protection is essential, so there is still some convincing to be done, and Suzi's keen to give those people a kickstart.
You know, the stupid thing is we spend thousands of pounds on our leathers, boots, helmets, gloves to make sure that we are as protected as we possibly can be. We don't think about hearing, which is crazy because once your hearing is gone, it's never coming back. It's not like a collarbone that will fix.